Hello, I'm Holden Ramey with the CattleFax Closing Bell. Today's Closing Bell is sponsored by CattleFax, the deciding factor. Throughout much of the late spring and early summer, the Choice Select spread struggled to widen. In fact, through May and the first half of June, the spread moved counter-seasonally lower. The spread was then relatively flat from mid-June to mid-July, although it has recently widened, reaching a weekly high so far near $22 a hundredweight. This is the latest spring-summer peak observed over the last 4 years. At least part of the reason for the narrower and later spread is the fact that there has been a reduction in select grading percentage and subsequent tightening of the select beef supply. Since April, the select grading percentage has been running both below a year ago and the 5-year average. Through May and early June, when the spread was narrowing counter-seasonally, the select grading percentage trended sideways around 12%, when both the previous years and the historical average suggested it should have been moving higher. However, as we've moved into the mid to late summer time frame, the select grading percentage has finally moved seasonally higher, up on top of 13%, allowing more availability of select product. Going forward, the select grading percentage seasonally remains relatively supported. Subsequently, the Choice Select spread will be more sideways going into the fall and then should start to widen out when the holiday buy gets in full swing. Turning to this week's markets, at the time of recording, cash markets had not largely been established across any regions. Despite trading sharply lower on Friday, live cattle futures are still slated to finish higher on the week. October live cattle are over $2 firmer on the week, trading just under $2.25. Much of the same can be said about the feeder cattle complex. Feeder cattle closed limit down on Friday. However, they were still higher on the week, with September feeders closing near $3.40, over $6 firmer on the week. The feeder cattle index was quoted near 337 on Friday, which is around $1.30 higher on the week. Thanks for watching, and remember to visit CattleFax.com to become a member and receive the latest market news and analysis.